Hey, how's it going, everybody? First off, I want to let you guys know, as you can tell, we are not in our 2020 Tesla Model Y. We are actually in a 2017 Tesla Model X. Now, we took the opportunity on our trip to rent it through Turo. One of our local Tesla people had one for rent, so we rented it out. So I want to talk about the Turo experience. I want to talk about kind of a Tesla Model Y versus Model X experience, and then jump into everything that we found the difference and what we kind of like and don't like about it. So sit back, relax. You guys are watching the Tall Tesla Guy. So like I said, this is a 2017 Tesla Model X. Now, it's actually got really low miles. It's only sitting at about 40,000 miles, which is really low for a car that's almost 5 years old. In my opinion, it's in really good condition, but it gave us a great opportunity to kind of test out some of the differences. We've had our Tesla Model Y for about 9 months, and I can say that I mean, there is a little bit more space in it. The headroom seems a little bit less. Now, this one actually has this cross piece here. It doesn't have the glass that goes all the way back like the new version, the newer Model X or anything like that, but for the most part, everything else is the same. I had to kind of readjust myself to this, kind of bifurcated dash screen, but it does tell you stuff. It's got the navigation in it, your watt hours used. It's got all the traffic stuff that you have normally on the center screen of the Model Y that we have. But everything is kind of right in front of you, which is kind of nice. Now, this car actually does have full self-driving. We haven't used it yet. We haven't needed to. We haven't been going on any long trips or anything like that, but it is there in case you want it. So that part of it's kind of neat too. And I will say, you do have an extensive back. Now, this is the 6-seater model. You can kind of see the 2 captain's chairs in the middle and the 2 captain's chairs in the back. And that is actually plenty of room back there for an adult person. It's not just, kind of set up for kids like you have with the 3rd row in the Model Y. There is actually enough space back there for an adult person to sit. It's a little tight for me. I did jump back there when we first got it just to see if I could fit back there. I can't fit behind the seat, but there's plenty of room off to the side to fit, so that actually works out as well too. But I mean, it's got all these neat features that are kind of neat with the car too, like the auto present doors when you get to it. It's got the Falcon wing doors that are always a fan favorite whenever you pull into a parking space. They are a little quirky sometimes, but they're neat to look at nonetheless. So that part of it's kind of neat. I don't notice much of a size difference when you're driving it around, because it is kind of bigger SUV for sure than the Model Y, but I don't really notice much of a difference in drive. It does have the air ride suspension, so it is a much smoother ride than our Model Y. We did notice that going over train tracks, bumps, that kind of thing. And we are in downtown Portland, Maine. It's a very old city, as you guys probably know, and there's a lot of like cobblestone streets and older construction areas, that kind of thing. But the air ride suspension makes it a really smooth ride, which is kind of nice. So the unique part about historic downtown Portland, Maine is a lot of one-way streets. It's a tighter road, but it is kind of neat. It's kind of neat to drive around kind of the old city. I think if you got a newer Model X, you'd have more the technology in there, which would give you a few more features and stuff like that you're missing. And it's a super smooth ride. It is comfortable. And I know the air ride suspension carries through in the older Tesla Model X's as well as the newer Tesla Model X's. So that's nothing that went away or anything like that. And some of the technology stuff, you don't have when you stop, it doesn't hold for you. We're missing out on that. So, one pedal driving isn't really there. That part I had to kind of readjust myself to. But, we do like it. We do like the car. In fact, we thought to ourselves that, should we get that lottery windfall, that it's not something that we'd shy away from. It's definitely a fun vehicle. It's definitely comfortable, which is really nice. One thing I will say that, certainly the, Tesla Model X has over the Model Y with those Falcon wing doors. I mean, outside of their quirks and everything like that, we have a baby seat back there, and putting the child in the baby seat, taking her out, with the doors opened up all the way, I can stand completely upright, and I am 6'5". As you guys know from previous videos and everything like that, I have complete access to the seat. I don't have to bend over at all, which is fantastic and great. Certainly saves your back. I can imagine if you had 2 kids that you were doing that kind of thing too, instead of having to climb over the seats, you could just put them in right through the doors, which is really nice. So, we definitely enjoy that part of it too. So this is the P90D. Now, they don't do the you know, the 90, 85, 70s anymore. It's either the long range or the performance, and then of course the Plaid Plus coming out. You know, this definitely has the acceleration. It's got the pickup that you don't have in a regular, you know, SUV shaped like this for sure. And it's about equivalent to our Model Y. It's a little bit faster 0 to 60, but it seems like the acceleration is about the same. You know, if you're familiar with Teslas, it's nice with all of them that you can jump in and you have all the basic controls that you can jump in and kind of get going with. Now, this obviously has, you know, there's 4 stalks here. I know the newer version of the Model X doesn't have this. You can adjust the steering wheel with the control knobs on the sides, just like you can with the other Teslas. But this one at this particular time, you know, the gear selector, including park, windshield wipers. There's another stock completely for the autopilot, and there's another stock to move the steering wheel around. So they got rid of all that kind of stuff, which is nice. It kind of declutters this a little bit, but we still have the 17-inch tall screen, and then the you know, kind of the bifurcated dash there. So it you know, it's a comfortable vehicle to kind of just jump in and go, and it kind of worked out well, at least being able to take it and not have to worry about driving an unfamiliar vehicle. Coming from Tesla, as you guys know, that if you jump in one Tesla, you kind of jump in all of them, which is really nice. It's a nice thing with the Model X. Now, one thing you'll notice with this car too, and I'm not positive that they come with it still, but they always, before they came with a key fob. It's a neat thing to have, just because you can open the Falcon wing doors by pushing these twice on each side, and I will show you guys that a little bit later on. But you can also lock it, do the frunk and the trunk. Now, I wish we had frunk access to our Model Y outside of having to open up, you know, pull out your phone and open up the app and do it. But you know, this is all on the key fob. Now, the downside of the key fob is I got used to not carrying one of these around. When I went from our gasoline vehicle that had a key fob, now I didn't have to take it out of my pocket, but I always had to have it in there, to this one. It is one more thing to put in your pocket, and I got so used to not having anything, which was really nice. But this is another way to drive. Now, you can also use the app, and there's also a Tesla card, but like I said, we rented this car through Turo, and they didn't transfer it via the app, and they didn't have you know, the key card or anything like that. So, and whether or not they would give it to us, so they just gave us this key fob. So they actually have a place to magnet it right to the dash, which is kind of nice. It just kind of gets it out of the way, which is kind of good too. But yeah, like I said, I don't mind it, but I wish I didn't have to put it in my pocket. So you kind of have that too. But that's something that comes with the Model X, and it comes into play, I guess, when you're trying to open the Falcon wing doors from afar, get them ready to go. Now, the doors, I definitely had a major concern about the doors before we got it. We got comfortable with them really, really quick, but you know, you kind of worry about them. They are quirky. We noticed that right from the get-go. We were underneath you know, kind of an overhang when we were going into the hotel, probably 20 feet high, but the doors thought that there was something there, so they didn't want to open all the way. So we, you know, you notice that, you know, we got out of the grocery store, we pulled a shopping cart near the doors, but not way any closer than a person would stand, and they didn't like to open at that point. They open kind of funky, and you have to work around them, and there's nothing really you can do about it unless you close them again and redo it. So, and then yesterday when we were at the hotel, they didn't want to open at all. I had to actually pull it out of the area to get it, and it just little things like that that kind of get you. Throw you off a little bit with the doors, just because if you didn't have those, you would open it like a normal door. But like I said, I mean, it is fun to use. It does open up the space when you're putting a child in there, which is fantastic. And it's a major party trick. People pull into a park and everybody looks at it. It's kind of neat to see. And you can do tricks with it too. You can put it in Santa mode. The car will sing and dance for you. The music will play. It'll open the doors and close them like it's flying, which is kind of neat too. So there are definite benefits to it, and there's some drawbacks as well. So it's definitely kind of a balance, but kind of one of those neat features of the Model X. As far as actual interior space, now this car, being that it's the 6-seater with the 2 sets of captain's chairs, you actually are missing one of the, you know, it would normally have 2 sub trunks in the back. You're actually missing one of them because that's where the seats are. Similar to the Model Y when you have it. In fact, you're missing both of them with the Model Y, but this one does have a pretty deep well in the back, at least one of them, and then it's got a pretty deep frunk. Now, there's no charging port in the front or plug in the front or anything like that, just like in the Model Y or the 3 or the S, but it is there and it's really nice. It's a little bit bigger than our Model Y is, at least in this model. And then the back area is about the same. The well is about the same. Now, when you fold down those back 2 seats and then you just make this a 4-seater car in the setup that we have, you actually have quite a bit of space back there, a little bit more than the Model Y. It's a little bit wider and a little bit longer, not much though, but a little bit longer. So it gives you a little bit more cargo room in there, which is kind of nice, I guess, if you're putting more and more stuff in there. And we do have a Bob stroller. We have everything that comes with our baby, everything that we normally have. We have our dog that would go in the back. So it's nice to give them a little bit more space. You know, it came down to, in the end though, we've been talking about this for the past couple of days, if we had the option to get either a Tesla Model Y, which is the one we currently have, or to get a Model X. I can't say that we would never get a Model X, because we do like it. We do like the way that it drives and everything like that. The challenge is that it's, you know, the starting price of the Model Y is about $50,000. The starting price of a Model X, with all the price increases and all that kind of stuff, and that's not the Plaid or anything like that. So, you know, that's just the standard issue one. Whether or not we think it's actually worth the $20,000 more, that's the sticker. I'm not sure as though that is there. But it's definitely a great ride. We love the vehicle. The experience with Turo was fantastic. And I'm going to put a couple more videos talking about a couple other things what we're doing here too. But I really wanted to show you guys some of the differences and some of the things that we've been experiencing while we've been driving around in it, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So I really hope you guys are having a fantastic day, week, month, everything so far. Getting ready for a great weekend. Hope you guys are having good weather and that you're staying safe out there. So you guys know the standard issue routine. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Stay safe out there.